Hi everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. I am Crystal. As seen by the title down below, you already know what we're going to be discussing about. So let's get right into it. What is depression? Are you going through depression? Have you ever been through depression? These are some of the questions we might be asking ourselves. Well, I would like to share my experience with you, and maybe you can relate or to understand what it is that you're going through. And just know that you're not alone. Let me first off go ahead and state that depression is a mental illness, and it is a mental illness which affects all mental illness affects the mind, but it's a mood disorder that over a period of time affects your life and also your well-being. There are many symptoms and signs of depression. Some of them are, listing out a few: lack of sleep, excessively sleeping, lack of appetite, excessively eating, aggressive, moody, miserable, irritable, excessive amount of feeling of sadness, guilt, despair, a lack of energy, and withdrawal from like if you're a person that used to go out a lot, you stop going out, or you're not as social as how you used to be. So being that we've gotten that out of the way and we have understand what depression is and also some of the symptoms to look for when you're going through depression, also like to add that depression has no age and no gender. So anyone can go through depression for one reason or another. So I'm about to get right into my experience that I had with going through depression and how I knew and found out that I had depression. Okay, so I was 13, going 14, and I was just having symptoms that was abnormal. I was irritable, very irritable, miserable, moody. I wasn't an outgoing person, but I was very withdrawal. I wasn't out and about like any teenager. At some point I eat excessively, and sometimes I don't eat at all. Sometimes I sleep excessively, and then I end up not sleeping at all. And these symptoms progress for months upon months upon months. So one day I recall when I was at home, I saw a magazine, and when I saw the magazine, I took it up, and while I was reading the magazine, I saw where they were talking about depression, and based on what was written there, I took the magazine to my mother and let her know that I think that this is what I was going through, and she took me to the hospital, and I was diagnosed with depression. Yeah, so that is my experience with finding out that I had depression, and those were my symptoms. Before learning or finding out that I was going through depression, as stated before, I was going through also hallucination and delusions when I was 7 years old, and I forgot to add that while I was going through depression in my 13s, I was very sad. I was very, very sad. I was a sad person. I didn't find joy in doing anything, and sadly it's impeded or implicated my learning abilities. But thanks be to God. Thanks be to God. I'm not going through that anymore, but still will share my experience. I will not hesitate to do so. So we have come to the end of this video where we were basically touching on the surface of depression and some of the symptoms and signs of depression. Join me in my next video where we'll be talking about coping with depression. Everybody's sad, but we need to know how to be sad and still functioning, right? So join me next time for that, and same place. But before I leave, I can't leave without dropping some scriptures on you for comfort. And one of my number one source is God. While I was going through the roughest of the rough, He was my comforter. He is my keeper. And when persons are going through a mind condition, a relationship with God is and what I call a mind condition is mental illness. A relationship with God is very important. 2 Timothy 1 verse 7, For God had not given us a spirit of fear, but a power of love and of a sound mind. Psalm 139 verse 14, I will praise thee, for I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Marvelous are thy works, and that my soul knoweth right well. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and turn on your post notification bell so you are always notified when I post a video. Stay blessed.